So, 24 teams, 600 players in a market worth £1.3 billion. The Championship is a big league, and this is why. Each team plays 4 to 6 games over the entire season, going from August through to May. And this league, one of the most attended in the world, with an average attendance of 20,000. At the end of the season, the top 2 teams automatically go up to the Premier League. The third spot is decided by the playoffs. The playoffs is a battle between 4 teams over 2 semi-final legs to decide who will go up. The final will then take place at Wembley in a winner-takes-it-all battle. Well, as a Reading fan, I haven't had too many fond memories of the playoffs. It's fair to say that a lot of Championship fans love the playoffs for many reasons. You look back to last season, Derby against Leeds, the ultimate comeback from Derby, and that is what the Championship is all about. The Championship is one of the most entertaining leagues in the world, and this has been shown previously by this season's results between Leeds and Birmingham. 5-4 win to Leeds, you just don't get that anywhere else in the world. When teams get relegated from the Championship, they often get some money from the Premier League. This is known as parachute payments, and it helps out teams when they go down to the Championship. Okay, so we know the Championship is relatively thriving, although some clubs are in a lot of debt. My question to both of you is, if this Premier League Netflix, which they're proposing, goes through, how do we see the Championship being affected by this in every aspect?
I'm not sure,
I think you see more televised Championship games, which is a good thing. So, because at the minute, that's one thing, a negative that I'd say about the Championship is that you can't watch every game. Like, I know when you're trying to watch Reading, you're just struggling to find like a stream.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult to find the Saturday 3 o'clock games because you just can't get them televised at all.
Exactly. So hopefully it will be more like for the likes of Sky and BT and that, just to hopefully bring like more games to TV.
Do you think in response to maybe them losing the rights to the Premier League, they'll take the opportunities, maybe use the Championship as a way to gain an extra source of revenue?
Yeah, 100% to start off with, because if they lose the Premier League rights, they're going to lose a massive amount of their income. But I don't know, like it's definitely an idea. I don't think it'll ever happen though, just because how much money is invested from Sky and BT and all these companies.
So maybe would it be the fact that they're talking about it could maybe kick them into gear and maybe start looking at the Championship as a more sort of better league to look at investing into, and that could be good for finances of Championship clubs too.
Because obviously, like the deal for the Premier League rights, it was like peaked and then it's coming back down now. Like it's not as expensive as it used to be, and that's probably due to the quality of the teams at the minute. Because you, like I said earlier, like you only have 2 good teams in Man City and Liverpool that are really outstanding, that can go far in Europe really. Whereas like the rest are just fighting for like fourth. You've seen
this season the Premier League teams have done relatively well in the Champions League anyway. So you could maybe argue that the whole quality of the lower half of the Premier League has gone up as a result of the Championship playing its part in being so competitive.
True. You got Sheffield United. I think Aston Villa is like almost certain to go down, because without a couple of key players, say if Jack Grealish got injured, they'd be screwed really.
Yeah, it's
same with Norwich and Pookie.
And it does show that the Championship's a very difficult league to get out of, because I think there's a stat that says only 20% of the teams that go down come straight back up. It's a very small number of teams that actually go straight back up. So it does show how competitive it is.
I just feel like they all. It sounds bad, but they're all just as bad as each other in a way. There'll be the odd team that has the one good player like Timu Pukki or whatever, and then he'll carry them to glory. Like that's how I personally see the Championship at the minute. not so like it is competitive and stuff, but I think it's more so because they're as bad as each other and not because they're as good as the...
Players who have made themselves stars in the Championship have also made big money moves to the Premier League. This goes for players such as Dan James, Ryan Sessegnon and Jared Byrne, who have all been starlets in the Championship and have made the step up to the Premier League. There's also been players who have been instrumental in taking their teams up, such as Ruben Neves, who took his team up, Wolves, and has since then taken them to Europe. It's not just Sheffield United that have come up and done well. Teams such as Burnley, Norwich, Wolves, they've all come up and they've all made a big statement in the Premier League. So, boys, the Championship, what are your general opinions on the league? What is it good at? What can it improve?
I'd say it's competitive, just like the Premier League. That's the thing about English football in general. Like the Championship's helped a lot of our players. It's developed a lot of the players in our team right now. Tomori, Mount, Abraham, just to name a couple of them. I'm not sure where it could improve. Only thing is because it's second tier of English football, isn't it? So it's already going to be at a lower level. So I can't really say where it could improve. It's competitive.
Would you say it's that much lower than some of the European leagues? Because we've seen that they can match the attendances of all the teams across Europe.
Some, I think, I wouldn't say a lot of the top 5 leagues in Europe, but I'd say some of the lower European countries, if I'm being honest, because there is a big depth in class from let's say the western side of Europe to the eastern side of Europe in terms of the strength of the team. So I think the Championship actually could be able to hold its own against a good couple of the countries.
Okay, and Josh, what are your opinions on the Championship?
I'd say it's probably the best second division in Europe, 100%. But I think it is competitive, but I wouldn't say the football quality is good. I think it's just entertaining and it's a good watch. Whereas, when we went to watch Malaga play, for example, they played quite nice football to watch. They played just a Spanish way, whereas in the football it's a bit more rough.
Do you think it's potentially the Championship is maybe 5-10 years behind in terms of technical ability compared to other European?
I wouldn't say it's 5-10 years behind. I think it's just the players that get brought in, because you have to play a certain way in order to win, and that's been proven. If you look at the likes of the teams that get promoted, like Sheffield United and those Burnley, you know what I mean? They have a certain way of playing, a certain style of players.
If the Championship isn't the most entertaining and the best league in the world, what league do you believe to be the best league in the world in terms of football?
The other thing, in a footballing sense, I would have said the Premier League, but this season it don't look like it because Premier League's been easy for Liverpool, and I think it's the biggest league right now teams had at first. And all the other leagues where it looks like for example, Serie A, where it was always Juventus. Right now, they've got Inter and Lazio competing against them. It's a lot tighter. Same thing in the Bundesliga. Used to always be Bayern, now it's Leipzig, and I think Dortmund are now trying to catch up to them as well. So I'm not really sure in terms of footballing sense, but I still say the Premier League only because of how marketable it is. The money in the Premier League is probably more than any other league in Europe, maybe in the world, by a mile. And I think that's probably just tips it to them.
With the Premier League becoming ever more sanitised, the Championship is the place to go to find an atmosphere. Stadiums such as Ellen Road and Kenilworth Road are stadiums that are iconic in producing good atmospheres. Right, so to round up, the Championship is the best league in the world and nothing else can compare. Am I right?
On your own, pal.
On my own.
No, but your channel, so let's do this.
So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to Lewis's channel as well. I'll leave that in the description below. And I'll see you later.